One of my favorite things to do is to come on this mic and talk to you because we both love luxury and we're just trying to be better people every single week. And I love that. We have that relationship. And for those of you who are new, welcome to the Save the Good Girl podcast. I am your host, Erica E., and welcome to your first luxury listening experience. It's going to be a great time because you're here, but I do want us to get acquainted. So go to savethegoodgirl.com and subscribe to the website. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Threads. TikTok is coming soon, but I would love to get acquainted so that we can talk. You are currently listening to the SOE edition of the podcast, and SOE stands for Shot of Erica. So what that is, it's just like your shot of tequila, espresso, or green juice. It gets you exactly where you need to be in a short period of time. I do the same thing, but for your mind. So unwind and get into the grind. Let me stop. You see, this is what happens. I try to rhyme a little too much. So y'all, I really wanted to talk about this because, like I just said, we are in this place of, we just want to be better people. We just want to live a life that is less stressful. We want to spend quality time with people. We want to be in love. We want to have relationships. We want to build ourselves. And if you want a family or not, or whatever it is that you're looking for, we just want to be good. We want to create really beautiful experiences. We want to live, want to be happy with what we're doing for work, whether it's starting our own business or maybe getting promoted or going back to school, whatever it is you want to do. We just want to feel that ease. But sometimes the way that life works is sometimes we're not at ease. And I thought about, right, how, when there's like a celebrity or somebody who is known to be like very positive and they meditate and they pray and people look up to them because of that. They have this positive demeanor. You could just never see them angry. They're just always so poised. And it's like, once they do get angry, now the media is like, oh my God, this person's supposed to be an example. I can't believe it. They're so upset. They're so this, they're so that. And I thought about that because I'm like, you can have a positive thought, but also have a pissed moment. You can be angry. You can be frustrated. You can be emotional. You can overthink. Sometimes that may happen with anxiety. I'm not saying it happens to everybody, but it can happen. And I think that just because we have a positive attitude, we want to live this positive life, I think sometimes people get so consumed with that. And it's like, yeah, because I'm trying my best to, when I do get back up, I want to get back up in the positive way. It does not negate the fact that life happens and I do get upset and I do get disappointed with people and I get frustrated with people and I yell sometimes. Like I get upset because we're human beings and sometimes our emotions, it gets the best of us and it happens, especially if you are normally a person that doesn't yell, that doesn't scream, that doesn't have that kind of demeanor, and then something happens and you explode because you're holding everything in. So I thought about the fact that it can coexist because life happens. I think that positive people choose to get back up and react in a way that's a little bit more healthy than negative. That's what I believe. I don't think that just because I have this podcast and I'm talking about, gratitude, affirmations, all these positive things, I go through rough moments. I had a rough moment this week. I get frustrated. I do get discouraged. And I think about a lot of things all at once. And then I get overwhelmed. Has there ever been a time where you felt so discouraged, you just did not see a way out? There was a time where I didn't think I was going to get out of a rut. And it's hard. And to this day, y'all, it is not easy sometimes to get out of bed. I was watching a sermon from T.D. Jakes and he was like, have you ever had these thoughts at night? These thoughts where all these voices in your mind, and not like schizophrenia or anything like that, but all these voices in your mind where you just could not sleep because you are thinking about so many different things to the point where when you wake up, even though you have gone to sleep, you're not well rested. So you wake up extremely exhausted and then your entire day is drained. And then that cycle continues. That has happened to me where I am thinking about so many different things at once. I felt like I was spiraling because it was just one thing after the other, like domino effect. And I didn't go to bed until like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I still woke up at like maybe 8 or 9. So I didn't have that many hours to sleep. But then the problem was I wasn't well rested. I went to sleep, but I wasn't resting. So then I wake up exhausted. I'm very slow. I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like talking. I'm easily irritated. Like, we go through these things. We go through this. And what I say is what I believe in. I want us to live a luxurious life. And I know that me experiencing that, it's not far-fetched. We all go through that. We all go through those moments, like, of being discouraged, of feeling low, of feeling confused. You're working on something. You don't know if you should really work on it. You don't see the success as much as you would like to see it. You know, your relationships with people are changing. You're changing. You decided that first you wanted this for your life, and now you're like, kind of want that. So there's a lot of transitions happening. And although transitions are good and pivoting is great, I will say that it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. Discouragement happens. Overwhelm happens. And in that moment, it's like, what do I do? So let me tell you guys what happened. I had that moment where I couldn't sleep, right? And then that whole day, I just was thinking about the fact that I couldn't sleep. And I was thinking about, well, what was actually on my mind? Like, what was it? And it was me worrying about a lot of things. My anxiety was heightened. And sometimes the anxiety gets triggered, but it was definitely heightened. And then it's like, I'm not sleeping well. Then I'm like, the next day, I'm like, okay, great, I'm going to sleep. And then the next day, I did not sleep well. So I'm just like, okay, so what can I do? I need to do something that's going to help me. I need to figure out a solution. And I think when you're a positive person, when you at least try your best to be a positive person, you try to find ways to get yourself out of that feeling, because you know what could happen if you stay there. There are people who have been depressed their entire lives. They don't move. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to try. And it's like, that's not the kind of life that I choose to live. Even in my moments of feeling down and confused, I'll text a friend. I'll go outside. I'll have a plan. Structure tends to work for me. I don't like the idea of waking up and doing nothing. Now, granted, sometimes you can, because it's important to have a moment where you're just chilling, you're resting, you're enjoying yourself. But to do that on a daily basis, for me, it's just not healthy. So whether I'm talking to a friend, whether I'm going outside, whether I'm reading something. And you know what else I've been interested in? Watching like home videos of like people giving tours of their homes. I love those videos. Like, when I don't know what to watch, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch videos of people giving tours of their homes. I don't know. That just really calms me down. So I feel like we try to find ways to lift ourselves up. And me watching something negative or hearing something negative, especially when I'm in a place where I'm discouraged, when I'm not in the best mood, when I'm not in the best mental state, like I'm not as positive, I'm not as engaged, I can't talk to somebody who's also negative, not in the best mental state, and not engaged. Like, that doesn't make me feel better. You know, when they say misery loves company, I don't like it, actually. Like, I don't want to be in a conversation where we just talk about how horrible our lives are for an hour and a half. And have I engaged in conversation like that before? Yes. Has it done anything for me? No. It actually makes things worse. Because for me, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't like it. So yeah, you may be going through the same thing and we can talk about it, but it's like, I don't want to stay here. So I think there's this fight of, how can I move forward without being unhealthy? But then how can I also give myself the space to just be, because I am mentally exhausted? And then how can I be productive, but not be productive to a place where I'm avoiding? I hope you guys were able to catch that. So I think sometimes too, that as you're trying to figure things out, sometimes people are hyper productive to avoid what's really going on. And something that I've learned is that you can hide, right? You can run, but you can't hide. And that statement is true not just in, playing games, whatever the case is. It's true. You can run. You can run from your problems. You can do different vices. You can, do anything in excess, whether it's watching TV, being on your phone, going drinking, excessive drinking, excessive sex, excessive anything. Yeah, you can do it in that moment. It might give you a bit of dopamine, I guess. But then what happens after? Your problem is still there. It's not going anywhere. And the longer you wait to work on it, the longer it is going to be for you to get out of it. And look at how quickly time is going by. Like, I cannot believe the way that time is moving right now. It's just moving really fast. I feel like it's like 1 minute it's 8 o'clock in the morning, the next minute is 7 o'clock at night. Like, I don't know what is going on with that, but it's just like the time is moving by really fast. And I'm not gonna lie, I think with the time moving by really fast, it does give me a bit of anxiety as well, because I'm just like, oh my God, there's so many things I want to do, and I just want to have the time to do it, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and then I'm tired because I'm overthinking. Like, it's a lot that goes through the mind. But I will say that I think there's a balance of taking time to yourself and, being alone and having moments where you're just trying to gather yourself. That's important, because I definitely have those moments where I just can't talk to anybody. I don't really want to hear your problems. I don't have it to give. Have you guys ever felt like that, where you don't have it to give? I don't have it to listen. I don't have it to give advice. I don't have it for the bullshit. I just don't have it. I don't. So therefore, I just disengage, not because I'm trying to, just avoid my environment, but I just can't sometimes. So I think there are moments where I do enjoy just being with myself, engaging in things that I enjoy, thinking about my ideas for the podcast, thinking about ideas for the reels, just really thinking about what I want. What I want in this life and how am I going to get it? And one of the things that's been really on my mind is my belief system. Like, I've been really talking about it, thinking about it, working on it. And that's been my focus. Like, I don't have it to give to focus on other people who don't want to do it. Like, you don't want to do the work. You have the resources. You don't want to do it. And as much as you may love somebody, you want to help them, there's not much you can do. You can't force anybody, especially when you need the time, because you're going through your own shit and you're just like, all right, let me figure this out. Let me see. But just because you're going through a rough moment, it doesn't mean you're not positive. Like, it doesn't mean that you still don't want the best for your life. You're going through a rough time, and that is okay. You're upset today. That is okay. You feel like you're having a depressive moment. That is okay. You don't want to talk to anybody. That is okay. You don't want to engage in much. That is okay. But we all know that after a certain amount of time, it becomes where it's an issue where it's not okay, because now you're going to different waters that's not productive. It's not helping you at all. And I truly believe that a lot of times people who are positive or trying to do positive content, trying to do positive work and put it out there, the assumption is, oh, this person never gets mad, or this person has really strong boundaries, or this person, like, how could she be upset because she's talking about X, Y, and Z? Yeah. I do talk about it and I believe it, but it doesn't mean that next week something may not happen that pisses me off and I'm angry. And you have to exercise that anger. Holding it in doesn't help anybody, because what happens with that? You explode. And everybody has to feel the wrath of that, because you're unhappy with yourself. Everybody has to feel the wrath of the fact that you're unhappy with you. And that's not right. So that's why I think for me, I do stay away sometimes, because I know that I'm not in a good place to respond, and I don't want there to be any problems. So I'm just like, all right, let me fall back, because I don't want, like, I could feel that I'm very aggravated. So it's like, if this person says something that's going to piss me off, I may not react in a way that I'm proud of. So I'm mature enough to know when I need to fall back. I'm mature enough to know when it's time to leave the room. I'm mature enough to know when an environment doesn't serve me. What I am still working on is accepting people for who they are. That is very hard for me because as much as I talk to you guys on the podcast and what I want, we got to live that life of luxury. I want that for those around me. So I'm very passionate about people getting better and being in a better space. And when they're not, it pisses me off because there's resources, there's things we can do. And it's like, yes, you can be patient, yes, and all of that. But it does bother me because I'm just like, I want all of us to be up, but everybody has their time to grow. Everybody has their time to figure things out. And quite frankly, it's too much energy and I don't have it to give, especially when I'm trying to take care of myself and get myself together. Like, I'm not Miss Perfect belief system, Miss Perfect manifestation, Miss Perfect. No, manifestation works because I've done it and it worked. And I believe in it. So I share what I know and I share what I've experienced because it has worked for me. And my hope is that maybe as you listen, it can also work for you as well. But I just want to discuss this because I'm like, yo, just because you're positive, just because you're talking about something positive, just because you're normally quiet, just because you are choosing to find a solution than to stay in the problem, doesn't mean you don't have a moment, yo. It does not mean you don't have a moment. It does not mean that you don't get upset or you're overthinking or you're overwhelmed. A lot of thoughts come to my mind. What's so crazy? I realized that I have been discouraged, but have been encouraging other people. I have been down and out, but still listening to others and trying to spruce them up. I have been confused and being mad about it, but telling other people, give yourself grace. And I think most of us are like that. It is so easy for us to be a cheerleader for other people in our lives. It's so easy. And then when it comes to us, it's just like, the mind is just doing what it does. And it's like, damn, can I get a break? Why are you so negative today? So I'm saying that to say if you're a person that is positive and that is trying, I think trying is the best thing. I think trying is the key because at least you're putting something out there and you're trying and you're putting your best foot forward. I believe that as long as you have that intention, as long as you remember your internal mission statement, businesses has mission statements of what they believe and what they want for their business and what they want the world to know. I think that internally we need to have one as well. And my internal mission statement will be in forever until I'm no longer here. And even after I'm gone, I want to leave that dust, is that I deserve to live a luxurious life. I deserve to have luxurious experiences. I know that things are going to happen beyond my control, and I'm going to try my best to remember that everything happens for a reason, and I'm exactly where I need to be at this particular moment. And whatever lesson I'm learning, I need to learn it right now. So it's like, I need to remember. I wish I could get this stamped on my arm. I need to remember that because we have those moments. So listen, if anybody tries to question you about your positivity and how you are and how you think, don't let that get to you. Don't, because you are going to be pissed. You are going to be annoyed. You are going to be frustrated. I feel so sorry for these celebrities. They go in on them. One last shout and it's like, oh my God, this person's horrible. And it's like, how would you react in that situation? Maybe you might react the same, but the goal is for us to, find healthy ways to bounce back. That's how you know a positive person, they want to find healthy ways to bounce back. But you can have positive thoughts and have a pissed moment. That's what it is, a moment. We are not letting it stay. We are exercising our right to be a human being. And that happens. So I just want to share that with y'all because, I don't know, people be annoying. It's like, okay. Let me be, because I'm figuring out just like how you're figuring out. And the truth is, we're all figuring out. The truth is, nobody knows what's going on. We're just trying our best every day. And that's what we're here for. We're just trying to get this luxury life, okay? And that's what you're going to do. And if you felt this in your heart, let me know your thoughts. Go to SaveTheGoodGirl.com, send me a message, or hit me up on social media. Of course, I want to hear exactly what you guys think and what you have to say. Do you believe that you can be positive, have positive thoughts, and have a pissed moment? I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know. And we are going to talk next week. I just love talking to y'all.